All right, I'm not sure if you've seen this about Jaden Rashida at Florida or not. And if you don't know who that is, that's okay. I'll explain everything to you right now. He's the guy that was going to be the one of the top quarterbacks in the 2023 class. He was going to Florida. He had flipped there from Miami, and then it all fell apart after he signed. Here's part of the report from the Associated Press. It says Rashada, who was one of the highest rated signing, who was the highest rated signee in the Gators 2023 class in December, asked for his release after a reported $13 million name, image, and likeness package fell apart. The Associated Press reported that the Gator Collective, what version of that down there is, I'm not sure, terminated its agreement with him, which was to be paid over 4 years. So you're looking about not quite $3 million a year. Excuse me, just over $3 million a year to the number 27 player, according to ESPN, in the country. I, Listen, there's a lot wrong. There's a lot wrong with this. First of all, first of all, you can't get the deal done. Like, uh, Florida's got issues right now. I'm just I'm not hating. I'm telling you what it is. We've talked about this for a while on here. They've got problems inside the athletic department. You've got a guy like Mike White who left Florida to go to Georgia. Oh, where they were going to fire him. Well, then why didn't they fire him? Okay. You've got an a football program that's had back-to-back losing seasons with different head coaches, no less. Um, and now in something that is very critical in the future of college football, Florida can't get that right. Not only were they paying far too much for an unproven commodity. I mean, 13 million. Listen, that ain't it, man. Like that is not it. That's just not something that's that's not based in reality. Like what I think people don't understand is $13 million. That's more than Billy Napier gets paid in a year. Okay, $13 million. Now that's over 4 years. I know Billy doesn't make a little bit over more than three a year. He gets paid much more than that. But there's no cost there. I mean, Stetson Bennett is not worth $13 million over a 4 year period, maybe if he won four national championships. But Florida can't get anything right. They overpaid for a deal that they could not close, and now they're getting horrid public relations because of something they should have never entered into to begin with. There's nothing wrong with these collectives from my perspective. They're doing what is permissible, what is legal. The NCAA, once the Supreme Court opened up NIL, this was going to happen. This was going to happen. We're just in capitalism now, y'all. For everyone who wants to complain about, you know, this, that, and the other, I'm a capitalist. Well, you're a capitalist until you aren't, and then you want rules, right? So many people who claim to be capitalists want regulation now on NIL people. Well, then you're not for regulations on banks and all this other stuff. There's good and there's yin and yang here. The fact of the matter is that right now there are regulations. It's just regulations people don't like. Okay, they don't think a guy should be making $13 million. If the market bears that, why wouldn't he or she? The fact is that the market doesn't bear out $13 million for a recruit. That's just all there is to it. If you're picking up double dogs, do it today. Here's why. I've got the confetti, right? Here it is. Here's some confetti. Oh, completely missed the screen. Um, if you don't order it soon, you're not going to get it. I mean, I did an inventory not that long ago of how much we got. I've been convinced that we have a little bit more than I was fearing. If you don't get it soon, you're going to be out. I'm just going to tell you, in February, we will not have this. It won't happen. The book has already been started. We are, halfway through it. It will be printed and getting it to folks before March. Okay, so unless something strange happens, so pick up double dogs today. Get yourself some confetti that you can give to the kids or whatever. It's not going to be a ton of confetti, but it will be literal confetti from the game. That we got as we left. So pick it up today. Today is the day to pick it up, Double Dogs. But with what Florida's doing, um, it's so, this is the messy part of it is the university can't pay because the university doesn't want the players to be considered employees, because then you're starting to deal with labor law and all this stuff. So they've got to use, you know, university unconnected university folks. So folks that used to be in the program that are now running it, or whatever you want to say or call it, but it cannot be university funds. So the way that people used to cheat in college football has changed. I mean, has changed dramatically. Now it's all completely permissible by NCAA law, by law. It's always been legal. There's nothing against it so long as you pay your taxes. So it's just been the NCAA has been in the way. Well, that's been cleared out. So now all that's happening is you've got collectives, which people are trying to make out to be evil too. And I'm not sure why everything's negative. Like everything's, I've done an NIL deal with people before. I mean, y'all are well aware of that. Some of y'all were there. That was a great deal for everyone involved. It was easy money for Keely Ringo. He didn't have to do anything other than, hang out for 3 hours or whatever it was, sign some stuff. And the people who purchased tickets to the event, they thought it was great. They thought it was great. They thought it was great. And, there is a market there for these things. There just is. And I think that when you when you say, oh, the university or its affiliates cannot do that, then that means the collectives have to. Because anymore, guys have agents. They just do, and they should. They have people who are doing this for them. They're creating deals, seeing if things are available, etc. But what's happening in Florida is they're not serious about this stuff the way that they need to be. And investing $13 million into one player is insane. I mean, that's just doesn't make any sense at all. First of all, if a player is good enough to be paid $13 million over 4 years, they're not going to be there for 4 years. I mean, who at Georgia is worth $3 million a year as a player? Brock Bowers? Brock Bowers isn't getting $3 million at Georgia. I mean, not that I'm aware of. I feel like I have a pretty good pulse on this stuff. He's not getting $3 million a year. Stetson Bennett? No. Stetson, and it's not from collectives, but Stetson for 3 million, but that would be a lot of different combinations of money. It wouldn't be from, I can't even remember what Georgia's collective is. Uh, no, not. I don't think that that would be the case necessarily. Now, I could be wrong about Stetson. I really don't think I am about Brock Bowers, but whatever. And someone could prove me wrong, but they're gonna have to show me a contract. I've signed contracts like this before, and $3 million. I don't know about that, but I think the other thing too is it just makes you look bad. Like you can't just recruit him to come play at Florida, and with all that comes from that, without guaranteeing the $13 million. $13 million, y'all, guaranteed. Apparently, that is a lot of money. I mean, that's about 10%. Let's just say it's 8% of Florida's entire athletic budget. Okay, that's the barometer. Now we know Florida cannot, pay that, but I'm just saying their budget is about $160 million, 180, whatever you want to call it. So 13 divided by, 160 is, well, that's more like that. Yeah, it's 8%. But now I know that's the 4 years or whatever, but I just I don't believe I think that there's a reason why this thing fell apart, and that it doesn't look good on the kid. It doesn't look good on Florida. Um, but I think it looks worse on Florida because the kid will move on and the kid will get his deal somewhere. He's not getting $13 million. Like that's not happening. I don't know what happened with Texas and Arch Manning, but I am overwhelmingly skeptical that it would be north of $10 million, that personally. And for those of you who want to criticize, I mean, I've been in business for a long time, not just doing this. And there is a particular value um, that comes along with a person in terms of a quarterback. Arch Manning would be as close to somebody that you could get a huge deal for as possible. And even at Texas, I am skeptical that it would be north of $10 million, just straight up, because you've got people aren't just going to pay these kids to play, y'all. There's got to be something that comes back in. This is not just about winning football games, okay? These people that are doing this are business folks, and the market has increased because it's all completely permissible now. So, um, my skepticism of a lot of these numbers that are out there is severe. But I will tell you this, Florida really screwed up this whole thing. They look bad. People who don't like NIL deals, they're going to like this less. And it just looks like they don't know what they're doing down there, which to some degree I think is the truth. If you like this sweatshirt, you can pick it up. The link is down below. Thanks for watching.